which was observing what is happening in US, similarly took that exercise, suiting their own requirements, and they also started outcomes-based engineering education from 2010 onwards. India and many other countries who are following what is happening in Europe and US began exercise, particularly India. Those outcomes are universal, more or less in nature, with the marginal changes only, depending upon the location and their own culture and their own requirements. Marginal changes only were made. And India also started from 2013, January onwards, a new engineering education called outcomes-based engineering education. Friends, they are there already with us. What is needed by the industry today is there, well known. It starts with the first requirement, thorough knowledge of the basic sciences. Second requirement, domain knowledge, thoroughness in that. Then, is it adequate? No. The practical skills, third requirement. Is it enough? No. What about society? Is an engineering graduate not working for the society? Yes. So he has a thorough vision about the societal requirements. What about environment? He should not undermine the environment. Already we have been witnessing by then the lapses we made. The lapses being acid rain, fog, smog, ozone depletion were already prevalent. Then of course the climate change now, the major issue that is before us. All that is because of mostly our own making, completely our own making of course. Anthropogenic, industrial, industry mainly. So, meeting all of them, the outcomes have been made for engineering education. They are readily there. What I suggest, Dr. Barla, is please go through the outcomes. Your college also must be providing that education, similar. If you want recognition by NBA, go through them. India has added one more, that being project management and finance management. 12 outcomes are there. They are student outcomes. Please provide the engineering education to your students based on those outcomes. It includes not only the engineering knowledge, science knowledge thoroughly, all the requirements today needed by society, by environment, teamwork, interpersonal relations, all are there, well known. So first step you should do is provide your curriculum. There are course outcomes and program outcomes. Two types of outcomes are there. A 4-year program of engineering has generally about 40 to 50 courses. 50 subjects, we call them subjects, but then the terminology is course. Every course has outcomes. On what basis outcomes are formed, that also I shall tell you. The learning domain, the totality of learning is in three domains. Domain 1 is cognitive domain. Domain 2, affective domain, not EFFECTY, AF, affective domain. The third domain is psychomotor domain. These three domains are to be taken into account while preparing the course. As many as 40 to 45 courses will be there in the 4 years, in the 8 semesters. All together, the sum of it constitutes the program. B.Tech in computer science and engineering, B.Tech in mechanical engineering. These are programs. So a program is the summation of all these courses. Finally, the program outcomes are given by NBA already, which is a sum total. If that is now there, obviously industry would accept your students. If some students fail to get selected, to convince the industry that the candidate is suitable, then only remedial measures are to be thought of. Guidance, further guidance is to be given. Yes. Most of the industries, most of the faculty, most of the well-wishers who are eager to help you, particularly rural community, rural students, they lag behind in several things compared to city products. That gap can be fulfilled, completed. So I would suggest have an engineering program, consult NITs, consult IITs, consult good institutions. A few of them are available in Hyderabad. You must be already doing that perhaps because you have started already the B.Tech program. You give B.Tech degrees or BEs? B.Tech, yes. A B.Tech program, whether it is done in Usmania Engineering College or in Ramachandrapuram Engineering College, has to follow a curriculum. Accepted curriculum. Go ahead with the curriculum. Who do that? Your faculty. And where does the industry come? To fill up some of the gaps which the faculty do not possess. That expertise which is to be transmitted from the industry to the college. Industry and institute must work together. In symbiosis. So, my suggestion to you is number 1. Develop, formulate a curriculum for each program which you are running based on NBA requirements. It is worldwide accepted. Your student must be competing with a student from Harvard. An industry is open. Invites applicants from everywhere. So you cannot say that my student give a special privilege. You raise the level of your student to the requirement of the industry. So we have been asked today by the learned aspirants to develop the institution. Dr. Narendra, Dr. Bala, Mr. Ankam, all of you want actually from the industrialists to know what we should do, how we have to help you. Yes, we are there to help. Follow the program. Even in that also we can help you. In framing the curriculum. In helping you to deliver that curriculum. is how I would make a beginning, but then please give me a couple of minutes more. I would give a prepared talk. The way this Ankam started is an industry and institution work together. True. Industry must do its job. College must do its job. Together they have to do some jobs. What I said so far is what the college has to do. Prepare the curriculum. Suiting the MBA requirements already. They are worldwide well known. They are taken from developed countries, experienced and put in practice already for the last 20 years, 23 years. Running very well. Very comprehensive. The whole environment is scanned through in formulating the curriculum. The interpersonal relationships, the teamwork, the designability. Who is an engineer? An engineer is one who can design. An engineer is one who can analyze. An engineer is one who can synthesize. An engineer is one who can evaluate. These are higher order thinking skills. Before that, before you go into the HOTS arts, higher order thinking skills, there are three more lower order thinking skills. The first one is comprehension, knowledge, memorization, first one. Second one is understanding that knowledge. Third one is the application of the knowledge. These are the three lower order thinking skills. Then comes analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. That is how the course is to be prepared, course subject, units, the different units, right from the introduction unit to the fundamental unit to the last unit, about 6 or 8 units in a course. After the entire program is successfully done, and during the program, then comes the industry into the picture. Yes, please project now. This is the industry institute interaction for the enhancement of graduate engineering quality. By me, next one please. Engineering colleges in India in general are unable to produce quality graduates in recent years. Save IITs, NITs, and some very reputed university engineering colleges. We are all very sorry. We have observed in the last few years, recent years, that a 12th class student has a better, bright 12th class student has a better analytical ability, cognitive abilities than an average engineering graduate of today. Yes, many people have expressed that today. That's the present position. They are unable to meet the requirements. Even 1% of our students do not satisfy the industry requirements. That's the situation today. Because industry, engineering means analysis. That ability one should have, that competence one should have. What is analysis? The real world is a very complex system of problems. It's a big picture. How can you analyze that? But how can you understand that? How can you solve the problems of the real world? You should be able to split it into parts, into subunits. Understand each subunit. That is the power of analysis. Then how do you get the big picture from the small parts? Combine them. That is the power of synthesis. And then evaluate various alternatives are there. So these are the abilities one has to obtain. So friends, Reasons being many, the primary cause of degradation is a massification of engineering student admissions. Very few motivated, large number exit testing. Non-availability of competent engineering faculty. We see the third one. Grossly inadequate exposure of engineering and industrial practices to the faculty and students. Faculty and students not have the exposure. Industry institute must work together. This need for both of them collaborating, implying industry, institute, interaction, people I. Long since it has been recognized. That also Dr. Barla has appreciated. But is it happening? No. This lofty objective is not yet taking roots at all in our country, particularly in our country. Unlike in many developed countries and other growing countries, in our country it is not happening. Next, please. Here are some key measures how we can bring about this close interaction. The triad: government, industry, engineering college. They must function together, which they have not been doing. Industry must take the primary role. Our society is a welfare society. Our governments are democratic governments. Our governments work for the people. Indian government works to reduce the inequality, equal opportunity to everybody. State governments also profess the same. However, not put into implementation. Therefore, the government should take the primary responsibility to bring these two together. So, the first one is government taking the responsibility, provide a regulatory framework for that, which is not available. It must be implementable and enforceable. So, friends, that is about the government's role, which is now missing. Unless the government intervenes in bringing the engineering college and the industry together, the interaction cannot take place, will never take place. I have been hearing about IIII right from my student days. I was a student of IIT, the only IIT then in the country. I did my BTech honors. I did my MTech from the same institute, IIT Kanpur. First MTech in the whole country. So from those days I have been hearing about IIII. 60 years ago, 65 years ago. But still it won't happen, cannot happen at all. The government has become in a big way. Only one more minute. Next one, please. Next one, please. Industry then should come forward. Willingly. Industry must feel where from are the graduates coming? They are from the engineering college. They are serving me, industry. I should be thankful to the engineering college. I must supply all the information, my requirements to them. I must make them know that. I must participate. I must go there and tell them, you are doing a great job. You are helping me. Please see that these requirements are put in your curriculum. I am telling you the curriculum, what I want. I will provide your faculty some opportunity to come and see our industry. Get trained here. I will provide opportunity to your students because they are going to come and join me and relieve my burden of training them later. Right from the first day, they would come and serve me. I did not have to spend about 6 months more to train them after selection here. That is how the industry must come forward, which doesn't do now. Next. practices from the industry and see that the industry comes to the aid of the college, provides the practices needed, the knowledge and skills, internships. Every effort must be made by the college. Industry will not so easily succumb, will not easily cooperate, because there is lots of time for them. They still do not have the national concept. They are still oriented towards their profits, and the bottom line for them is profit making. They must be reunited. The two components, the dyad must be united together. Institute and the industry. Only government can do that. It was infused in the industry. Like it is for you, the college is producing, my dear friend. You are keeping yourself away from the college. And you college mate, you go, they will help you. The employability of your students will be improved. More number of students will join. You get reputation for your college. They must be united together. Next please. Next please. Experience shows that industry institute interaction does not get established unless and until the state and central governments adopt and enforce regulatory measures for collaboration between the key players. And who are they? Only two. Industry institute interaction is a symbiotic relationship for mutual good. The outcome of industry institute interaction is the quality of the engineering, quality engineering whom we are missing today. That's such a graduate is the driver of sustainable development. Both industry and the institute put together. And the result is the fulfillment of the nation's second need, make in India. Yes, we are going to witness it, provided the government comes into the picture in a big way. The nationalistic spirit, helping the youth, including the rural youth, more specifically the rural youth, for equality, for equity. Only then, friends, will get satisfied and fulfilled, that sense of fulfillment that now it is made in India. Thank you, dear friends. And it is a noble aim we have taken up, objective. Dr. Barla, I am happy that you are my student. Always. Yes. Please go ahead. Wonderful days will be there. All the industries will support you. You should do this contribution. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, sir, Professor Bidya, sir. We felt all of us were in NIT Warangal classroom. It was a fantastic session and very educative. We talked not only of engineering education, but also all domains of education. It could apply to medicine, it could apply to commerce, psychology, whatever. I now call upon the other representatives to talk briefly about, we have Dr. Medical field people are here. Mr. Shankar is here. And Venkat. P.S. Murthy sir must give his blessings. Already his brother has already spoken to us elaborately. Now we get the blessings of the learned mind to bless us. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for coming us.
Professor Venkat and learned scholars and friends here. I, I retired as the Additional Director of Medical Education in Andhra Pradesh State in 1990. But during my service as Professor of Pediatrics in various medical colleges, I also worked in the medical colleges, Kakinada Medical College, Usmania Medical College, Tirupati SV Medical College, and many other medical colleges. Now the main topic here is to see how we can stimulate the rural students for application and for promotion of their activities and absorption into the various fields of employment. That was the main theme of the topic here. So I visualized, in 1979, I was a WHO fellow on medical education and sent to inspect the medical colleges in Japan. So in 1979, I visited Japan and inspected various medical colleges there. There are medical colleges in the urban areas. There were medical colleges in the rural areas also. Now the aim of medical college is to train the medical graduates not to cure diseases, but to promote health. So the problem is promotion of health. That is more important than curing a disease. So I have made some suggestions to them in the Japan medical colleges. They accepted also. Now what is happening in India is now the rural medical colleges are not there. There are some colleges in rural areas, but I think in Ramchandrapuram also they are going to start a medical college. I heard, or they might have started already. Now in rural, the problem will come now. I will emphasize that the undergraduates or the graduates coming out of the medical college in the rural areas should be taught 5 plans, 5 main items. One is, we should encourage them to have a questioning mind. In the rural areas, the students are shy. They are not very expressive. They have doubts, but they don't ask. They don't ask for fear of the professorial attitude of the teachers. They are afraid of asking the questions because they feel that their ignorance will be exhibited. They are afraid to ask questions because their language communication skills are not very good. In the rural areas, this happens. So what I would suggest is encourage the questioning mind in the rural students. Ask that the teacher's responsibility is not only to impart the information on the subject, but also to encourage the student to put questions. The questioning mind should be encouraged in the rural students. That is one fundamental thing. And second is, take them on tours. For example, I will give an example. If there is a small high school in Ramchandra, there is a high school in Ramchandrapuram, there is one in Mandapet. I know those areas because I was in Kakinada for a long time. So take the students to various places in tours. The so-called tour should not be a picnic, should not only be should not only be a picnic for eating and sightseeing, but for learning. The tours that the rural students should go is for learning. Now, I will give an example. Take the village to Ramchandrapuram students once a month, or at least once in a couple of months, to General Hospital, Kakinada. Take them to the primary health center near Mandapeta. How the working pattern is in the primary health center, how it is in the general hospital. Take them to a pharmaceutical concern as a visit. How the medicines are made, what is the purpose of the medications. So encourage, the second plank I tell you, encourage tours. One is questioning mind. Second is encourage tours. Take the tours which will be practical and which will impart sufficient information for the future skills. So second part is. The third is about volunteer work. The students in rural areas should be taken into the institutions and the management should request the institution heads to allow them for volunteer work. They need not do anything. They will go to the hospital and do volunteer work like helping the nurses, helping the technicians, helping the radiographers, helping the lab technicians. These students will be put as apprentices or interns. And don't call them their big names, interns and apprenticeship and all that. Tell the managements, our students will come and observe, kindly allow them. So once the rural area students will go to these institutions and then visit them, they have an idea about their future employment potential and the future employment opportunities. So practically, the third thing is, so encourage volunteer work. Fourthly, I would also suggest that they should be taken to tours, periodical tours. Now, teaching important education in an institution is very good, very good. It has high ideals, it has got excellent faculty, it has got a tremendously organized syllabus, but that is not enough. Take them on tours to different places. From Ramchandrapuram area, take them to Rajasthan area and see how the hospitals or the medical schools in Rajasthan are functioning. And what are the special problems of the Rajasthan attitude? Take them to Assam, take them to Kerala. Like that, there should be tours for the village students. Then only the students in the rural areas will have this confidence to ask, confidence to learn, confidence to question, and then confidence to manage in future. So tools are necessary. And lastly, friends, all of us have been in the teaching profession for a long time. You are all expert teachers, not like me, a medical doctor. So please remember that the purpose of the whole exercise is to make them not only into a productive, capable professionals, but also to serve the community. The community service should be imparted into the rural students. It is not enough if the rural student learn all these things, go to the engineering college or medical college, then do the post-graduation, become a professor, go to USA or Japan or England, and then settle there. What's the purpose? The purpose is come back, give back to the rural community. You have come from the rural community and then you are given excellent opportunities to rise to the highest level, give back to the community, and that also should be important to the rural students. Thank you, friends, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. All the five words that you gave are 5 Vedas for us, 4 Vedas plus 1 Gita. So all 5 words we take, we implement, and we come back to you again and again. Thank you very much, sir. Now we call upon Mr. Venkat to give us an industry perspective on the, on the let us. And then we have an expert from RBL Bank, Mr. Srinivas is here, Senior Vice President, RBL Bank is here.
Let them speak first, at the end I will speak.
As you wish. Maybe Srinivas sir will come, followed by Mr. Abhirama Krishna, who has industry as well as academic experience. Nobody else can be better than you, sir, here. Kindly join us after Mr. Srinivas. 5 minutes.
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. So, incidentally, yesterday when my brother told me, my brother is Mr. Narendra, who would have given the keynote speaker. So when he has actually told me that this event is happening, so I was actually not too sure because today is a working day whether I'll be coming in time or not. Though I'm a bit delayed, I'm happy that I'm a part of this gathering. So the context I would like to want to make very important for us is today in the banking space, especially I've been working for several private sector banks. I work for ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Axis Bank, and today I'm working for RBL Bank. We see a big paradox in the industry. We see attrition in the range of anywhere between 45 to 60% in the banks, especially in the private sector banks. And we say we are not getting people, but outside we find a lot of unemployment. So what we find here is a big mismatch between the skill sets, what we are looking at, and the skill sets that are available in the market. And first is the availability of skill sets, second is meeting of the aspirations. wherein we actually kind of try to offer some kind of a role at some kind of a pay grade, wherein which is not necessarily in the line of aspirations of the people. Today, in a bank, as you know, the first and foremost thing anybody would actually probably looking at is a BCom or an MCom, whereas today no such commerce colleges are hardly available, as you know. Almost all commerce colleges are closed. Everybody has moved to technical side. So today, engineers are coming to us who are probably, as one of the earlier speakers was saying, that less than 1% are employable, I would say. Okay, the difference between being unemployed or employable, I would say. So we get engineers because there are no commerce students that are available. So we get them into training classrooms. We start teaching them debit, credit. What do you mean by debit? What do you mean by credit? Okay, so 90% of them don't understand what debit and credit is. So we tell them that debit means withdrawal, credit means a deposit, and from then you start. Okay, so it's like that. So what I'm actually trying to kind of give the perspective as to what we are actually facing through. There is a lot of employment opportunity available in banks, but hardly anybody is available who will be requiring having our skills, the skill set what we require in a bank. And day in and day out we are seeing that people are quitting banks. So this is one area of improvement probably wherein if somebody is actually kind of, the REH is actually suggesting something, wherein probably some of us can actually kind of give guide and coach some people to get into reasonable employment at banks. I actually do coach some students at the Symbiosis Institute of Business Management here in Hyderabad campus. So I've been a mentor there, and then I keep taking some guest lectures also there on aspects related to banking and finance. So any such opportunity given to me, I'll be very happy to be part of associated with your organization. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful message, sir. It's the bank is ultimate lender of the last resort. Anyway, so money is there, so we all need. And Mr. Sairam is here. Let's look at some youngsters and industry entrepreneurs. Yeah, Mr. Sairam.
Hi, good evening everyone. My name is Sairam Reddy. About 26 years of work experience in various MNCs, predominantly in pharma, and I also worked in the paper with ITC, and Mr. Barla was there. Now I'm an entrepreneur, say for the past 1.5 years. So I'm again in the pharma space because most of my experience is there. So having said that background, with respect to my contribution or suggestions on today's topic, I would prefer to talk in vernacular. Telugulo మాట్లాడతాను. I think all of you are comfortable. మా నాన్నగారు కూడా రామచంద్రాపురం కాలేజ్లో చదివారు. Oh really? Okay. So I'll blend it. So my dad also studied in the same place where all of you are talking about this college, Ramchandrapuram. He studied in a college by name VSM College. Yeah. He's late Mr. Ramareddy. So ఇక్కడ నేను కొన్ని పాయింట్స్ ఏం చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నానంటే like we all had been thinking on our perspective, but can we also start thinking on the students' perspective? ఏమవుతుందంటే ఒకసారి students, they are under pressure from 10th class, 11th and 12th. They are under tremendous pressure. So they treat BTech to be a holiday for them. It's a fact. Even my daughter has recently completed a BTech, so I know their kind of mindset. They try to freak out. So again, it becomes a challenge to us, the lecturers and the management of colleges, how to get them back into the track. That's a major challenge I see. Then the second point, I'm just trying to recollect. I was planning to tell some of the point here. Yeah. See, like Insta లాంటి పేజెస్ ని మనం ఎంత వరకు యూజ్ చేయగలం ఈ ఇనిషియేటివ్ కి అన్నది ఆలోచించాలి, because there are many people in industry who have got the passion to come and teach in colleges, but they really don't know. So I'm a live example. I teach very well actually, so but I don't know where to go and where to give a lecture. So I've got enough knowledge on pharma. Not only on pharma, ఒక మనిషి జాబ్ లోకి వెళ్తే సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అవడానికి ఎటువంటి క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ కావాలి అన్నది నాకు తెలుసు. హౌ టు ప్రొజెక్ట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్, హౌ టు మేక్ రిపోర్ట్స్, హౌ టు మేక్ ప్రెజెంటేషన్, ఇవన్నీ లైఫ్ స్కిల్స్. ఇవన్నీ నా దగ్గర ఉన్నాయి, బట్ ఆల్ దీస్ రిసోర్సెస్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ వేస్ట్ just for a reason that demand supply gap. Most of the people need these skills, and there is a set of people who have this skill set, but how we map it is a challenge. So like today now I came to know I may fly down sometime to the Rajahmundry and then I may go to Ramachandrapuram and give whatever inputs I could give to the college students. So it's just me. So there are many such people like me. How do we connect these people into Ramachandrapuram is a challenge. So we can request our own students, మన college students నే request చేస్తే they will come up with some app or some approach and use technology so that people like me can be tapped, pulled all the way there and give the knowledge transfer to the students. This is the second suggestion I have. And the third one is faculty. Faculty should not essentially be salaried employees. They should have passion, because one teacher can change the lives of thousands of students. We all have come across, sometimes a student is afraid of mathematics, but he says it is because of X sir that today, I love maths and this is what I am. So what I'm trying to say here is, let us try to choose faculty who are not very focused on salaries, but they have a passion to teach people. If we get such kind of faculty into our system, then whatever we are planning to do, we can easily achieve the goals. So these are few inputs which I have given, and what I am saying is I will surely be an active contributor, since Rajahmundry happens to be my native place. So I'll go to the college and try to contribute as much as possible. My daughter Deepthi is here. She also would contribute. Just say hi, Deepthi Reddy. So she also would come and contribute. She is also an entrepreneur now. She joined me in the business. So thank you all for giving this opportunity.
Wonderful, Sairam and Deepthi. Welcome to college. Come down. Maybe you can add a word here to that thing. You just graduated, so we'd like to hear your voice. And thank you, Sairam. Actually, the Professor of Industry Practice concept was initiated by Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and later on adopted by UGC from last year. You do not have to have a PhD to teach in colleges now. Professor of Industry Practice. After completing 15 years of industry experience, everyone is a professor and Professor of Industry Practice. So we will be happy to have your services anytime. Thank you very much.
Hi all, I'm Deepthi, and I'm so sorry I joined a little late. So it was a great speech. I've actually heard a couple of speakers talk. So since I am probably I would say youngest in the crowd, so I probably can give you and shed a little light on how, the college or industry perspective in college is working right now. So I've graduated from a college called MS Ramaya in Bangalore, and like my dad has already mentioned, after 12th we are under too much pressure, right? Tremendous pressure. So as soon as we come to our college, we do have that mindset where we want to relax for a little. Oh, we have already scored really well, we've got a good admit in good college, so why don't we relax for a bit, right? So that 1 year of relaxing extends to all the 4 years. And then at the end of 4 years, we don't know what to do, right? But then the industry asks a lot from somebody, like an engineer like us, right? And for somebody who's just come out of graduation, they expect us to have 10 years of experience. How is that possible, right? We get a lot of pressure from the industry as well. So there are few points that I, as a student who's very recently come up to be an entrepreneur, feel there's a gap, right? So why do students first of all get pressure? Because the industry expects somebody to have a graduation to sit in a particular post, right? As far as I am concerned, I have seen a lot of people who don't have engineering background, don't have a BCom, nothing, but they're really smart. They're street smart. So I would actually want the industry to broaden their mindset a little and be open to people who are not how would I put it, who doesn't have a degree but has the potential. So that's where I think the gap is from. So a lot of people, they do an MBA, but what have you gained out of an MBA is the question, right? Versus somebody who has not done anything at all but is super smart. So I feel industry should recognize that it's not just the degree that matters, but it's the person and their skill set and how that skills are going to be useful to me and my industry. Because at the end of the day, like Sir mentioned, it's make in India. And how is that going to be possible if you can bridge that gap? So that's all. So thank you so much.
Very good, Nitya. Really, you've added fresh air to the environment. Really good. And we can go over to Mr. Nagesh, CEO, Newsbit Technologies. Another 5 minutes. Thereafter, we can fall back upon Mr. Abhirama Krishna, industry expert and academic expert. And we have a few more youngsters we'll take later on, Venkatesh and Rajesh and guys like that. Okay, welcome Nagesh sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So good evening. So I will take a few minutes. This name, rural employment, very much suits for me because I just born and brought up in this small village, a place called between the Nellore and Kadapa district border, a small village. I was born and brought up. So I kind of had all the rural problems, like whatever, like all the difficulties, problems. And I was also part of how to search for them, and as in a rural guy, like how to search for employment. Then I completed my BTech in 98 to 2012. I did my job in different MNCs and I started my own company in 2012. And I also know what is the problem, how I am giving employment to even a rural people. In fact, I recently started one more NGO called SAHO Foundation, Sapling of Hope. It is primarily for a rural, especially people who are studying in a government schools and with single parents. Normally, like people who are studying in government schools itself, we can understand the situation, and then people there with the single parents. Because I also know, I'm also part of that kind of category where I lost my father when I was months old. So this is my return to my society that I thought, like last year when our company is celebrating 10th anniversary, we have decided to kind of return back something. Then I started this SAHO Foundation, where primarily focusing on the single parent children who are studying in the government schools. Then I adopted one of the mandal in Nellore district called Maipadu Mandal, and then we gathered all the information. There's around 220 people who are single parent who are studying in different places. Coming to the point where this is just a little background point, right? What we can do for this rural employment, rural kids. We know the problem of rural people. Still, we can from here we can see the high level. Still, all are okay, but not okay. Really not okay. In the last few weeks back, I visited all these 10 high schools who are in this mandal, and then I met all the people who are in the single parents. We cannot even imagine, how the problem they still. For example, there are some father, no father, they are single mothers, and then some of the fathers who kind of went away and second marriage, and the people who are staying in the grandparents. These are the problem. Just imagine these kind of kids grow and come to the employment. What kind of skills they do they really have? So then we thought, okay, the very primary thing we need to give them hope. We need to give them hope for all these rural kids. Okay, there is a big scope outside. Though whatever happened to you, okay, you may be a rural school, you may be studying in a government school, you may not have your father, mother. Despite of all these problems, you still have a big scope in the outside. That is the first thing we want to give, and we are giving to all this. One mandal we started, but we want to expand this many places. Even the same thing applies to even the people who are coming, because I see in the last 25 years, I have interviewed so many people, few hundreds, few thousands. When I was working as an employee, even after I became an employer, I have seen so many people interviewed, especially in the IT side. I know what is the problem, right? So what we need to go all together, of course, definitely, thanks to you, sir, I think a great motive, a great thing, but apart from all of us also, we need to give them wherever it's possible, right? First thing is we need to give a hope to these guys. And second thing, how do we give a hope for them? Right? We need to involve. For example, we need to really practically see these problems. Right? Then only we understand. We have to meet them or we have to motivate them, then we understand. Right? Similarly, coming to the employment, I think, of course, different industries. I think maybe it may be IT and non-IT. Because IT, definitely, I can be part of it because I know what is the problem, what is required. Even recently, though, for example, especially in IT, in engineering field, this IT is the only field, right? Though they might be doing in a different engineering, mechanical or electronics, whatever, people are coming to IT, right? Because that's the most opportunities available, right? But to do, get a job in IT, we might have studied 50 subjects in the 4 years, but not really required. We experimented, in fact, I experimented. I gave a job, even a 3 years degree, who has some of the basic skills. Now I'm even trying to experiment, even a guy who can just did a 12th intermediate guy, I can give a job, a software engineer job. So that requires a specific skills, that is enough. Of course, engineering degree, they have subjects, there are theory, there's a lot of brains behind it, that's all okay. But just to do an IT job, we don't require. Of course, I cannot debate on why required, not required. Just to give a job, especially the rural, we know the specific skills what is required, right? There are a few things, like for example, very first thing is an engineering graduate to do this problem solving. Of course, to do any programming, they need to do the problem solving, right? Any engineer, but that matters, right? For example, you need to do, for example, if I give 100 rupees, I want to distribute to 5 people, what is the basic thing you do? You need to know whether I have to divide, I have to plus or minus, that's a basic thing. Once I know the problem, a solution, then what is that? The second thing required is how to programming this. I need just a programming language. Once I do a programming, then how do I convey, display to the users or end users? What I need something else to the kind of front-end programming. Then all the data, where do I store? There is a database. These are 4 or 5 components which we teach them 3 months, 6 months, 9 months is enough. And then they are ready for an employment. Of course, that's a different thing. I definitely will want to connect it. Okay, so that's my different perception rather than of course, there's a lot of theoretical and all, there's a lot of brains to make all these engineering courses and all, but to be employment specific, especially for a rural, I think we have to be more specific. Okay, maybe definitely I'll connect separately. Thank you for this opportunity. Very good.
Thank you, Nagesh Garu. Really, that's a good suggestion. From where Deepthi has left, you've taken it forward, but the message is very clear. It's not the degrees, it is the mind which is required. Here is, let me also quote that our chairman, Dr. Ankam Garu, is a teacher. He never studied in IIT or IIM, but he's employing IIT and IIM graduates today. That's it, that speaks. So, let me now call upon our friend Mr. Abhinamakrishna. He is now professor and he was an industrialist. He was a pioneer who made NIIT into a university. Now, the biggest thing I heard yesterday was that he made a BCom graduate earn equal to or more than an IIT graduate. The last package your student has got is more than the package got by an IIT graduate. How you made it, you can tell us, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Bala. Bala is a good friend of mine. First of all, I would like to congratulate Dr. Ankim for this initiative. And a couple of things. I'm younger to Deepthi by heart. So Deepthi, you have a competitor. Okay. So Mr. Nageshwar, I think I'll take off from where he, so I have 5 minutes? Okay. He said that we should give hope. I have 2 cases which there's no need to give hope. You have to give them the confidence. There is a company called Zoho, Chennai, in a village. Sridhar Vembu is the CEO. He goes to colleges only in the rural, and anybody who scores more than 80 is disqualified to attend the interview. They want students who scored less than 75. And within 3-4 months, he takes them, trains, and I've met a couple of people. It's a great study. So for want of time, please go to Google, see his YouTube interviews, and you will get fund of information. And I request that he be called to your college, sir, and he can motivate. The industry requires ask, attitude, skills, and knowledge. Unfortunately, the college gives reverse. More of knowledge, hardly anything of skills, leave alone attitude. So if we can provide, especially the rural, the attitude and the confidence, I think they can do very well. So I'll quote one personal example. I was the CHRO of one of the international schools in Hyderabad called Santa Maria International. So the chairman of Krishnapatnam Port one day visited because his brother's children were studying, and he happened to be a classmate of my owner. And he said, "What a wonderful school. Can you do this in my village, Mutkur village near Nellore, for the fishermen community, less privileged and the orphan?" So again, for want of time, I'm just saying, 2 years it took us to establish the international school. We took orphans, and from the settlements, from fishermen community, nobody has attended a school. And we admitted children up to the age of 14, and the 14-year person was in class 7. And within 3 years, they had to appear for the 10th class exam. And I'm happy to say, out of 28 students who qualified for the 10th, 20 students got more than 95, and the remaining got more than 80. That's the 10th class. So what I'm telling to say is, don't underestimate, say you are from rural and say that you are inferior to the city, because I see a lot of brilliance. So my son works for TCS, and a couple of years back, he removed the rural and the premier college in one stroke, because recruitment was very costly. So they used to go only for the 45 recognized colleges for their recruitment. But now they've introduced online admission. Anybody can write a code. There are a couple of questions. So all over India, and he tells me more than 50% who qualify through these exams are all from the rural engineering colleges. So the myth that the rural colleges are inferior, I think we should ourselves remove. Second, in order to make it more purposeful, I think we should create mentor-mentee programs, that each of the mentor from the industry adopts 10 students and takes them in guidance, not only to education, career, but also the personal things. So now there is a challenge for students to go tours, internship, study. It becomes very, very costly, and I don't know how many students can afford. So I request the college to bring the industry to the college. This college need not go to the industry can come to the college. 2-3 suggestions. Suppose I see, first of all, the programs which the colleges are offering are too many. I think this college should choose for 4 or 5 streams to begin, for which they would like to be known, and work on that, so the industry, whenever they want any requirement, they come to this college. For example, if it is automobile engineering, you can get a couple of old second-hand cars into the campus, dismantle, train the students, assemble. They will get excitement, they will learn, and they can go now work for any of the multinational companies. I was talking to the people who are wanting to create jobs for BSc testing. In the pharma sector, there are huge shortfall of testers. Now the testing equipment costs 5-6 lakhs. So one day I happened to meet the MD of DB Labs, and I was just asking him, what do you do with the testing equipments? Because no company can afford, once a manufacturing date, after 10 years or something, it goes obsolete, they have to buy new machines. I told, why don't you donate these to the pharma nursing, and so I've trained some BSc, 10th class, 12th class students, and they know how to do, and you can certify and get employment. So I request the Mr. Srinivas and all the people from the college to think out of the box and interact more. The faculty should go for internship rather than the students going for internship. Spend 1 month with the industry, learn few things, and then come and replicate it to 60 students in the class. I think that will be more effective. Professor Shastri Garu said that government should regulate, but don't depend on the government. No government will, have this industry, and the industry have to take initiative, and well-wishers like from the industry has to help the. So last is, Bala had asked me, how did we do this? We have to do mass customization, which means select group of people who are having some aptitude, and Shastriji rightly said, the outcome based, find out what is the requirement of the institute, and see which 5 students in the 3rd year you will groom them for the interviews, and go and meet the industry, find out whether these are the skills that is required, learn the job description of these people, equip some of these students in the skill, they will get good job. So my BCom students were getting around 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, and we selected through this experiment, and today 4 of them got 18.72 lakhs. I'm talking about BCom students with 1.5 lakhs relocation charges. Now our goal is, we are not happy, we want to give 20 more, 20 lakhs. And there are industries who are spotting for talent, and there is a premium for talent. So I can only just say, match what are the few industries. So the college should focus on 5 things for which they are to be known, build a brand around that, meet those sectors of industry, well-wishers, and I'm sure you will succeed. You have to create some success, island of success, and that will be enough for all the other students to come. Lastly, the college should focus in the rural areas, in the intermediate, and contribute some of the skills which you expect from the intermediate students, which is not available. Go to those colleges, train, so that the inputs which coming to you are better students than what you are currently getting. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. As usual, Abhinam happens to be from, Abhinam is from NIT Warangal, my senior, and also from IIM Bangalore. So some of the youngsters we can go for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for those kind words. I think we are definitely noting down all those points that you gave us for those inputs. And just to pick the point from he said where, pharmacy companies and everybody who have obsolete machines where they stop working after 10 or certain number of years, they should donate them to these colleges and industries so that the students get trained on these and be industry ready for these jobs. So to pick up from there, we are conducting, and as Dr. Barla already mentioned, that we are coming up with a medical college and already established nursing college on our campus. We are conducting health camps and adopting families, and so for the same reason we welcome pharma, IT and other industry people for donating medicines and community bags. And in the same line of things, Dr. Ravichan has donated, and we welcome him to talk about this here.
Yeah, good evening all. I am a MD pharmacologist. Okay, basically a drug discovery scientist. What I see in India is corporate people will not approach our colleges. In US, when I was working for Pfizer, when I have an idea, I must go to John Hopkins for trial batch. drug discovery is very expensive. Very, very expensive. So I do the drug discovery, and from there I will try to design where to go, what it is. So academics are getting more credit. But here what I see is, once I donate a HPLC, or for example for institute, but the maintenance cost is very much on this. So that is what. So for example, I work with pharma colleges, I tell you. See, we all take iodine salt. But have you ever realized what is the amount of iodine in the salt? I will challenge it, that's not possible. I went with a pharma college, analyzed what amount of iodine is there, and started working. So we created projects. And today all salt industry, even Tatas are now giving to analyze the sample in that college. So we create chances. For example, one more thing which really changed is Fair and Lovely. When we work in analytical park, nothing makes fair in Fair and Lovely. But it makes 300 crores business. So we have problems. Recently, I had given a challenge for 50 cough syrups. You only see 50 cough syrups, we see 3,000 crores of business lying down. So what is the problem which really caused in India? So we address those problems. See, I always feel great about IT people because the technology, the analytical part, what we use in analysis, in US, equivalent pay is given to analytical people also. LCMS technician, he draws 3 lakh salary because the report of it is final for us. So we work in collaborations of different things, and also telling, see, every day we have lots of problems, so many problems. It should be picked up as a challenge. And students, I'll tell you, when I started my career, I thought a pharmacology was, but today I am enjoying life. I have lost my job for doing good work, but the real thing is this drug discovery in India. How many Indian molecules are there in drug discovery? 0. So other thing is, when you do something, publish that, patent that. Once you have a patent, it's like morphine. Industries will come directly to you. They attract you. So you have to do publications. And ethics, there are 2 types of ethics, financial ethics and publication ethics. Today MNC will not look into industry because for the satisfying the sponsor, I'll write a wrong report. If it is wrong, write it wrong. That courage you have to have it. Yes, this is not working, this is not working. So that type of attitude. I'll also tell you, nowadays I see people, when I went to Pfizer for an interview, there were 300 people. I got a job. The reason was, in the HR interview, that fellow asked me a question. I'm making a movie, what role will you play? I told him I will play a villain. All the 299 people wanted to be hero and heroines. See, the attitude is you have to come from down to up. That is not there. All our people only think how much money we make, how much returns we get. The knowledge you have will reciprocate your revenues. It is directly proportional. You have more knowledge, more money. So that's what I have understood, and I always part of Ankum because I love working with him and different part of it. So I will also be contributing for his discovery platform where more things can be done. So I am also taking a voluntary step where medicines for poor is not available. So I have some drugs which are common, man. Vitamin D is common among rural people. So very common. We only see when they come with fractures. So try to work on this. So I have organized a pharma company to donate. So they came forward to donate. So I would support youngsters in their college to come with different solutions, problem and solutions. So it's like a Tom and Jerry. I always tell, both are good friends, but both are entertaining people for the industry. So that is what I take, and youngsters and all have told me a lot. I understood what really basic teaching has told me a lot. Thanks to everyone. Thanks, Ankur sir.
Thank you, sir. You must be a professor in All India Institute of Medical Sciences. Really good one. Now there's one point, just 1 minute only. Mr. K. Narasimhan from IIM Calcutta is here. Our meeting won't be complete without touch basing upon Mr. K. Narasimhan, my first boss in ITC. Sir, 1 point, just 1 minute only or less than 1 minute. Your 1 point must be eloquently talked. Welcome to you, sir.
Carla is a trainee of mine in ITC 40 years ago. That's the way I put it. Probably is one of the very few of the trainees in ITC who is still in touch with me. I'm 80. The basic point that I spoke to him 2 years ago when he came to me to join your institution as a part of the advisory council was communication. Whether it is in engineering, production, technology, marketing, finance, the basic fundamental principle or essential is communication. And the communication has to be brief, clear, and focused. If you can achieve this, you have done a great service in terms of what you want to communicate. Tell us. This happens within the organization or from the organization to the outside. Traditionally, mostly the marketing people used to be in touch with the outside world, so they are called the ambassadors of the company. But today it is not so. Every single department in the company has an interface with outsiders. So therefore, communication is a very important aspect. That's what I wanted to do. 2 years back when he came to me, I said, look, include communication as a part of your curriculum.
Thank you very much. Really well, point very well made. And a lot of rural students today fail in the final HR round. They are not able to make into HR round. Being a plus or B plus kind of a guy in engineering or medicine, they lose out in the HR round because of lack of communication. I'm sure your point is well taken, sir. Thank you very much. Maybe some of the youngsters. Venkat is there. Venkat, C. Kiran, and Rajesh. Yeah. Venkat from the IT industry. Teja, just look around if any.
No, he's not available.
Mr. Chakravarti, networking engineer from Bangalore. Yeah. Yeah, we want the young people to come and speak more. Introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, myself Chakravarti Yatham. I'm currently working on an organization called Ericsson. It is the backbone of all the telecom companies in India, majorly Airtel and Jio as well. Here the Ericsson is a top player in the telecom industry. Currently, they are developing a 5G technology with Jio and Airtel, which 5G technology includes mostly the IT technology, which includes cloud and AI, machine learning, and IoT as well. These technologies are future technologies called the artificial intelligence and machine learning. These are the major part of the future technologies, and current most of the colleges doesn't have the facilities to train these technologies in the real world conditions. But I see that kids has the artificial intelligence as a MBA course. That is a eye opener for me. Like a big foreign institutions doesn't have these type of courses in their curriculum, but our kids college has the great future vision towards the upcoming technologies as well. and really appreciate KITS college management and their vision towards these future technologies, and really looking great forward for such a courses will have the great numbers in their curriculum. Thank you for this opportunity and have a great evening.
Wonderful, Andy. Really very well said. Chakravarti, networking engineer from Bangalore. Thank you very much for your brief but sweet introduction. And C.H. Dakshinamurthy, Mr. C.H. Dakshinamurthy, a wonderful HR person whom I met just now. I was very impressed.
You are discriminated. I am also young, but you could not recognize me. So I am also young in mind and young in body. Okay, that is one. And let me start with one negative point, because when we develop negative in dark room, then only we will get a positive picture. I have attended such a similar programs conducted by or organized by most of the institutions, but those are all just they have conducted as a ceremonial one or eyewash kind of thing. Yes, we used to give so many sessions, and these are all not implemented as a part and parcel of their program sheet. It is one of the item, and they made it happen. That is one. But one thing is very clear: the moment I entered into this hall and understood, yes, I felt very happy that this institute is committed. So my sincere thanks to the management of RREH. Okay, and definitely my support will be there. And definitely I will be part of this journey, because earlier I was with Rane Group Company. I am associated with Rane Group Company, Vijay Electricals, Suven Life Sciences, Hyderabad Metro Rail, and all these companies. When I was in Rane, we used to take candidates from rural areas only. Purposefully we have taken +2 candidates from rural areas, and we have taken all the candidates from rural areas from erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. I have visited all the districts and government schools, and we have taken the students and we made them managed teams, and we have made them permanent, and now they are getting 50 to 60,000 rupees per month as a unionized workman. That is point one. Second thing, we have ensured quality, operator level quality assurance, because to that extent their skills and attitudes are developed. And there is a continuous training program we have imparted to all these people in the industry. But 300 days there is a training calendar also there. It is training is also one of the integral part of their job. That is one hour. And regarding this, actually this is not a smooth cake walk, sir. So though you are having so much support and blesses also, it is not a smooth cake walk. There is so much competition for you also in this area. Because here I am worrying about the candidates' aspirations. Your ideology is good, your objective is good, your purpose is good, but I am worrying about the student community. Their aspirations are very, very high, and expectations of the management expectations also very, very high. There is a huge gap between the aspirations and the expectations, demand versus supply. So my suggestion here is you please make them sit in one place and understand their aspirations. Tell them success stories and get them aspirations, and accordingly you please note down who are all interested to go to IT industry, or who wants to be in manufacturing and engineering, like that. And if at all we are seeing for the last 1 hour we have been discussing about pharma, engineering, IT. Why not be in hospitals, service industry? Why not be in schools as a record assistant or something? Because in service industry also, like the services we are not getting. Even very recently, I don't want to mention the name of the hospital. It is a very one of the top 3 corporate hospital. Even nurse is not willing to change the bed sheet of the patient. And she is calling the attendant and remove the bed sheet. Okay, and after that give this tablet, like that. She dictated the attendant and gone. So there is no human touch. So let us say. And second thing. My takeaway always here is for the success of certain projects, the industry institute, individual student, and the government. These are all four pillars, and they should walk together and work together. And your program should be meaningful, purposeful, and gainful. Otherwise, it will be painful. But repeatedly, I am saying you have to understand the aspirations of the students first. Otherwise, it will become in vain. All your efforts will become in vain. That I can say. Because my mantra is a skill without a will is nil. That's it.
That's very well said. Really good advice from a good HR. I think it's time for breaking for dinner. But then any one or two points, if any quick ones. One pointer, like Kalen said, Marla, 1 point, done, like that. If any points are there, we can. Otherwise, yeah. Yes, I think the Ramki group, Sumati, and yeah, these are the CSR guys, and we're really looking forward to hearing you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Before joining CSR, I was an academician, so I taught for undergraduate students. So when we used to have discussions, when we used to have meetings, our management at times and administrators at times used to state one thing: what's wrong with few students? Okay. So I'm quite student-centric, and I was labeled as very much a liberal faculty. So I used to say that it's not the problem with the students, rather it's the problem or the abnormalities that they carry from the very beginning or the genesis, from their basic childhood, okay, from their basic learning processes. Okay, so we have abandoned our students, okay, from reasoning, from questioning, okay, from having this curiosity, from experimenting, from having an imagination, from having an open mind, from having leadership qualities. And I don't see most of the institutions teaching these kind of things in their curriculum. Okay, and what is required is not just an academic curriculum which is very much structured. We need certain philosophical insights to the students. Okay, and we have immense guidance from our PG Shastri Garu. Recently, we had an opportunity to interact with him at one of the event, SSC inauguration event. There, he did share profound insights about ancient wisdom and virtue. So these things should be taught to the students from the basic childhood, the primary socialization, and further the secondary socialization, and even in their adulthood, it is very much essential. Okay. And curriculum should be revamped, not just curriculum, even the pedagogy, the teaching practices and the methodologies needs to be revamped by the educational institutions and administrators. Okay. At least I did not have a clue about these things called brainstorming, mind mapping until I was doing my post-graduation. So a primary student or possibly a secondary student might not have any clue about these things, which are essential components for learning. Right? Okay. And most importantly, an ideal teacher, an instructor who should be a role model is essential in educational institutions. Okay. And coming to the second point, it's the perception of the students is that we should earn a degree and that would suffice. Okay, just for the sake of gaining an employment or securing a job. Now, this particular notion emerges in the student when they see something as a destination, job as a destination. But have we made any effort to convey to the students that learning is a continuous process? Job isn't a destination. Okay, so this is the primordial question that always emerges within me. Okay. So, job is a complementary aspect. Earning degree is a complementary aspect, but skills are essential. Okay, interpersonal skills, communication skills are very essential. Since I come from a non-STEM background, I may not be able to speak a lot about technical things. Anyways, So, and finally, about Ramke Foundation. So, I work in the planning and execution department as manager in Ramke Foundation, and I oversee documentation, digital campaigns, and planning and execution things pertaining to various initiatives that we carry out in Ramke Foundation, CSR initiatives. Okay. So, Ramke Foundation was established or founded in the year 2006 by our chairman, Shri Ala Ayodhya Ram Reddy Garu, who is a visionary. Now, if you're wondering, CSR Act was enforced in the year 2014, but we started our philanthropic initiatives in the year 2006. This is because of his vision, our chairman's vision. Okay, and we work in 5 thrust areas: natural resource management, women empowerment, health, education, and skill development. And currently, we are actively focusing on skill development and education. In the recent past, we have successfully completed BFSI trainings. We have placed several students in TCS, and we have provided training to the marginalized and the deprived sections, and we could secure police and sub-inspector jobs to them. And right now, just 10 days ago, we started a program for SSC GD aspirants in both of our campuses. One is in Guntur and the other one is in Hyderabad, Shamilpet. So we could conduct the exam, and we are able to shortlist 600 students. Now these 600 students are actively engaged in training programs in both of our campuses. And our success rate for these programs is very immense. 52 police aspirants, almost 52 sub-inspectors got selected for Telangana, and 250 constables were selected previously. So we have immense success rate, and we are also anticipating that for SSC GD as well, we will have 80 to 90% of the success rate. And we are also focused on retention. For those students who are not able to secure any kind of job, we are retaining the students, and we are again training them for several programs like Java Full Stack, BPO, and digital marketing. Even these programs are conducted in our skill development centers. So that is much about in the recent initiatives, and we have been actively engaging with several universities like Voxen University, NMIMS, Narsi Mohanji, and the other university, Xavier. Okay, so we are very much curious to have partnership and collaboration with any entities for that matter, not necessarily one thrust area, education or skill development. We are very open and curious to have a engaging partnership with everyone, and I believe Dr. Barlagaru has mentioned that there is a gap, and we wish to fulfill that thing, and we will play an active role in enabling your success, sir. So I would like to assure that, and thank you everyone for sharing your insights. Thank you.
Cochin School of Management. All my 5 years in ITC, I only picked up MBAs from there. He was not one, I didn't recruit him. I was recruited by my boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for those great words. Now I'm glad to announce that we have among us a great superstar in structural engineering, Mr. Venkat Garu, to speak upon a few words for us here.
Thank you. ఈరోజు ఈ మీటింగ్కి వచ్చిన అతిరథ మహారథులందరికీ కూడా నా తరపున, మా డాక్టర్ అంకం గారి తరపున మా హృదయపూర్వకమైనటువంటి నమస్కారములు. ఎందుకంటే అంకం గారు నాకు ఒక 2-3 సార్లు పరిచయం అయ్యారు, కలిసాము. అప్పటి నుంచి మాకు బాగా కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారు. నిన్న ఫోన్ చేసి వెంకట్ గారు ఇలాగా ఉంది, మీరు రావాలి అని చెప్తే, ఇవాళ యాక్చువల్గా బయటకు వేరే ప్రొఫెషన్ వెళ్ళాలి, దానికోసం మిమ్మల్ని అందరినీ ఒకసారి మీ వ్యూస్ కూడా తెలుసుకుందామనే ఉద్దేశంతో ఈరోజు ఇక్కడ రావడం జరిగింది. బేసికల్లీ నేను ఒక ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ ప్లస్ స్ట్రక్చరల్ ఇంజనీర్, బోత్ క్వాలిఫైడ్ ఆర్కిటెక్ట్ అండ్ క్వాలిఫైడ్ స్ట్రక్చరల్ ఇంజనీర్. ఐ ఆమ్ ఇన్ టు కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ ఫీల్డ్ ఫర్ ది లాస్ట్ 30 years. ఇక్కడ చాలామంది చాలా మాట్లాడారు, వాళ్ళ ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ అంటే దే షేర్డ్ విత్ అస్. మీ అనుభవాలు అందరికీ చెప్పారు. వెరీ నైస్. ముఖ్యంగా నా అనుభవాలు ఏంటంటే, ఈ రోజుల్లో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది ఎలా పాస్ అవ్వాలో చెప్తున్నారు చాలా మంది ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్లో. నిన్న ఒక 3 days బ్యాక్ మేము BOS మెంబర్ కింద మహేంద్ర టెక్ యూనివర్సిటీకి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు అక్కడ కూడా ఇదే వచ్చింది. See, they are teaching how to pass the exam. See, this question comes in exam. You please go through it. అంటే చదువుకో, ఇది ఎగ్జామ్స్లో వస్తుంది. అలాగే స్కూలింగ్లో కూడా చూస్తున్నా ఆ అబ్బాయికి మార్నింగ్ 8 నుంచి ఈవినింగ్ 8 వరకు చదువు చెప్పాలి, స్ట్రెస్, కంప్లీట్ స్ట్రెస్ ఉండాలి, బాగా చదువుకోవాలి, IITలో సీట్ రావాలి. దానికోసమే ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు తప్ప అతనికి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏంటి? ఇప్పుడు అక్కడ దీప్తి చెప్పింది ఇందాక, స్ట్రెస్ ఫీల్ అయ్యాను 12th క్లాస్ వరకు అని చెప్పింది. సో అలాగా ఆ స్ట్రెస్ ఫీల్ అయ్యే స్కూల్స్ కూడా చాలా మంది ఉన్నాయి బయట, దానికే ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తున్నారు. బయటకు వచ్చేటప్పటికి అల్టిమేట్గా ఏమవుతుందంటే, డిగ్రీలో జాయిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు నా క్లాస్మేట్ ఇక్కడ బాంబే ఐటీలో డీన్ ప్రొఫెసర్ విశ్వనాథం, మన వాడి దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు చెప్తున్నాడు, ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ సెకండ్ ఇయర్ బీటెక్ చదువుతున్నాడు, సూసైడ్ చేసుకున్నాడు, స్ట్రెస్ అంటే తట్టుకోలేక ఇలాంటివి జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ ది పేరెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఎంకరేజింగ్ అంటే స్ట్రెస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ స్కూల్స్. ఐ డోంట్ నో, వీటి చెప్తున్నాడు. సో దయచేసి మనం అందరం కూడా ఒక స్టేజ్ నుంచి ఒక ఫాదర్ స్టేజ్కి వచ్చాం, స్టూడెంట్ నుంచి, ఎక్సెప్ట్ దీప్తి అండ్ అదర్ 1 or 2 people. సో మనం మన పిల్లలకి ఆ స్ట్రెస్ ఫ్రీ ఎడ్యుకేషను, వాళ్ళకి ఏది ఇంట్రెస్టో అది అందులో మనము వాళ్ళు ఎంకరేజ్ చేయాలి. అంతేగాని నేను డాక్టర్ని, నా అబ్బాయి కూడా డాక్టర్ అవ్వాలి, లేకపోతే నా అమ్మాయి కూడా డాక్టర్ అవ్వాలి, లేకపోతే నేను ఇంజనీర్ని, మా అబ్బాయి కానీ అమ్మాయి కానీ ఇంజనీర్ అవ్వాలని అనుకోవద్దు అసలు. దయచేసి సెలక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఫీల్డ్, సెలక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ప్లేస్, బోత్ ఆర్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ అంటాను నేను. నువ్వు ఎంచుకున్న ప్రదేశం, ఎంచుకున్న వ్యాపారం, ఈ రెండు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇవి మన పిల్లలకి చెప్తే చాలు. అలాగే ఒక ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేది నెవర్ ఎండింగ్, ఎవరో చెప్పారు, కంటిన్యూస్ లెర్నింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ అని చెప్పారు ఆయన. ఎస్, ఐ అగ్రీ. ఒక నర్సు, డాక్టర్ మూర్తి గారు, ఒక నర్సు ఒక సర్జన్ కన్నా బ్రహ్మాండంగా ఆపరేషన్ చేయగలదు, కానీ వీ డు నాట్ ఎంటర్టైన్, వీ డు నాట్ అలౌ హర్ టు డూ ఆపరేషన్స్ అన్లెస్ షీ హ్యావ్ క్వాలిఫైడ్ డిగ్రీ. ఐ యామ్ రైట్ సార్? అగ్రీ? డాక్టర్ మూర్తి గారు, ఆయన నేను ఇంచుమించు ఒక 20 years నుంచి రోటరీలో ట్రావెల్ చేసాం, రోటరీ క్లబ్ ఆఫ్ హైదరాబాద్ సెంటర్లో, వాళ్ళ బ్రదర్ శాస్త్రి గారు కూడా. కాబట్టి క్వాలిఫికేషన్ అనేది కంపల్సరీగా ఉండాలి. ఆ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ అనేది అతని ఇష్టానికి, అంటే స్టూడెంట్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్కి తగ్గట్టుగా మనం ఎంకరేజ్ చేయాలి. అలాగే పిరికి వాళ్ళతో స్నేహం చేయకూడదు, పిరికి వాళ్ళతో ఏది షేర్ చేసుకోకూడదు, పిరికి వాళ్ళతో వ్యాపారం చేయకూడదు. పిల్లలకి ఇలాంటి చిన్న అప్పుడప్పుడు సమయం వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ దీప్తి లాంటి అమ్మాయి ఉంది, నాకు ఏం చేయాలో తెలియదు, MBA అయింది, నేను మా ఫాదర్తో చేస్తున్నాను అన్నప్పుడు, రెడ్డి గారు, రామరెడ్డి గారు, మీది రామచంద్రపురం కదా, రామచంద్రపురం పక్కన పసలపూడ. ఎస్, ఐ నో. నాది కాకినాడ దగ్గర వెంకటకృష్ణ రాయపురం ఉంది, VK రాయపురం, అక్కడ పుట్టి పెరిగాను. ఆ రోజుల్లో 83లో ఐ గాట్ మై ఇంజనీరింగ్ అడ్మిషన్. ఆ రోజుల్లో మా ఊర్లో నేను ఒక్కడే ఇంజనీరింగ్. నన్ను చూసి ఈరోజు ఒక 50 మంది 60 మంది అయ్యారు. ఎయిమ్స్ ఢిల్లీలో చదువుతున్నారు, NITలో చదువుతున్నారు, IITలో చదువుతున్నారు. సో అప్పట్లో అంటే ఎలా ఉండేదంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ సిస్టమ్ చాలా తక్కువగా ఉండేది, కాంపిటీషన్, అంటే ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ కూడా చాలా తక్కువ ఉండేవి. ఇప్పుడు ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ పెరిగిపోయాయి. సో క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ కూడా డైల్యూట్ అయిపోయింది. సో ఈ రీజన్స్ వల్ల మనం రూరల్ ఏరియాస్లో ఎంకరేజ్ చేయాలని ఆయన దృక్పథం. దానికి నేను అనుకునేది కూడా, మేమందరం కూడా విలేజ్ నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళమే, ఇంక్లూడింగ్ శాస్త్రి గారు, మూర్తి గారు, ఆయన కొలీగ్ డాక్టర్ PS రావు గారు రాజమండ్రిలో, ఆయన రాజమండ్రి నుంచి వచ్చారు. చాలా మంది IITsలో పనిచేస్తున్న ప్రొఫెసర్స్ వీళ్ళందరూ, ఐ ఆస్క్డ్ దెమ్, మెనీ ఆఫ్ దెమ్ దే టోల్డ్ దే ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ రూరల్ ఏరియాస్. ఇందులో మన దాంట్లో కూడా చాలా మంది చెప్పుకోవడానికి ఇష్టపడరు, అరే నేను అక్కడ ఊళ్ళో పుట్టాను, ఆ ఊరిలో పెరిగాను అని చెప్పడానికి చాలా తక్కువ మంది ఉంటారు. సో మనం అందరం కూడా ఒక రూరల్ అట్మాస్ఫియర్ నుంచి వచ్చిన వాళ్ళమే. లక్కీలీ మనకి ఏంటంటే మనకున్న పొజిషన్ రీచ్ ఇక్కడ సెటిల్ అయ్యాం, అక్కడ వెళ్ళడానికి ఇష్టపడట్లేదు. ఇప్పుడు చాలా తక్కువ మంది, మనం వెళ్ళినా ప్రొద్దుటేళ్ళు వచ్చేస్తున్నాం, మన పిల్లలు కూడా అసలు ఇష్టపడట్లేదు మన ఊరు రావడానికి. సో పరిస్థితి అలా ఉంది. కాబట్టి మనం రూరల్ ఏరియాస్లో మనం బాగా అంటే ఎంకరేజ్, మన ఊరికి మనం ఏం చేయాలి, మన పుట్టిన ప్లేస్కి ఏం చేయాలి, మన జిల్లాలకు ఏం చేయాలనే దృక్పథంతో మనం అందరూ ముందుకు వెళ్ళి డెఫినెట్గా మా వంతు, అంటే వచ్చిన వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మంచి పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నారు కాబట్టి ఫైనాన్షియల్గా మనం అందరం రాబోయే అంటే ఈ యువతకి మరి ఏం చెయ్యాలి అనేది ఆలోచిద్దాం, మనకి సాధ్యమైనంత సహాయం చేద్దాం. అదే ఉద్దేశంతో మేము 2000లో స్కూల్ పెట్టాం కాకినాడలో. దాంట్లో ఉన్న వచ్చిన ప్రొడక్ట్స్ అందరూ మంచి పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నారు. ఆ రోజుల్లో అక్కడ స్ట్రెస్ ఫ్రీ ఎడ్యుకేషన్. కానీ అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ ఏంటంటే మా అబ్బాయి 8 లక్షల ఫీజు సంవత్సరానికి ఆ స్కూల్లో చదువుతాడని చెప్పుకునే పేరెంట్స్ చాలా మంది నేను చూశాను. అంతేగాని 80,000 ఫీజు కట్టే స్కూల్ గురించి చెప్పుకోవట్లేదు. మన దౌర్భాగ్యం. ఎందుకంటే నేను ఫ్రెండ్ కలిశాను, అతను బుక్స్ అమ్ముతాడు. మీ పిల్లడు ఎక్కడ చదువుతున్నాడు మీ పిల్లలు అంటే, సార్ పలానా స్కూల్. ఫీజు మంత్ ఇయర్లీ 10 lakhs కదా, వై అంటే, సార్ మా అబ్బాయికి మా పిల్లలకి మంచి సర్కిల్ వస్తుంది సార్, మంచి సర్కిల్ ఉంటుంది. మా అబ్బాయి పిల్లలందరూ కూడా మినిస్టర్లు, లేకపోతే మహేష్ బాబు కొడుకు చిరంజీవి మా అమ్మ సార్. అరే ఎంత అంటే అన్ఫార్చునేట్ థింగ్. మనం కూడా ప్రశ్నించుకోవాలి. పిల్లలకి సాధ్యమైనంత వరకు సింపుల్గా అంటే డౌన్ టు ఎర్త్ ఇలా ఉండేటట్టుగా చేసుకోవాలి తప్ప మనం లేనిపోయిన ఆర్భాటాలు చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నేర్పిస్తే మాత్రం డెఫినెట్గా వాళ్ళ ఫ్యూచర్ మన చేతుల్లో ఏముండదు. మన మాట కూడా వినే పరిస్థితుల్లో ఉంటున్నారు. అది కూడా ఒక్కోసారి చాలా బాధ అనిపిస్తుంది. కాబట్టి ఈ రోజు మనం అందరం కలిసి ఇదే ఇప్పుడు డాక్టర్ గారిని ఏంటంటే ఒక గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేయించి డాక్టర్ గారు అందరూ ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవుతాం. సపోజ్ నాది కాకినాడ, ఆయనది రామచంద్రపురం, అంటే మేమందరం కూడా ఒకే జిల్లా వాళ్ళం, ఒకే ప్లేస్ వాళ్ళం. మేము ఆయన కలిసి మేము ఏం చేయగలం ఆ ఏరియాలో. అలాగే ఇప్పుడు కొంతమంది కర్నూలు, కొంతమంది అనంతపూర్, కొంతమంది వచ్చారు. డెఫినెట్గా మన అందరం కలిసి మనం సంపాదించినట్లు ఇప్పుడు సిఎస్ఆర్ అంటే ఆయన కంపెనీ తరఫున చేస్తున్నారు. అలాగే ఇండివిజువల్గా కూడా కొంతమంది ముందుకు వచ్చి మన ఈ యొక్క రాబోయే మన రూరల్ ఏరియా పిల్లలకి ఏం చేయాలనేది కలిసి చేద్దాం. అంటే యాక్చువల్గా దీనికి రావడానికి కారణం కూడా ఒక ఉద్దేశం ఉంది. ఎల్ఎన్టీలో కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ కంట్రీ హెడ్ విటిసిఎస్ రావు అని చంద్రశేఖర్ ఈజ్ మై క్లోజ్ ఫ్రెండ్. ఆయన అంతకుముందు ఫ్లోర్లో పనిచేసాడు, పోస్టర్ వేల్ కంపెనీలో పనిచేసాడు కంట్రీ హెడ్ కింద. ఇద్దరు ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఫ్రెండ్స్. ఆయన రిజైన్ చేసి వచ్చి మార్చి ఏప్రిల్ తర్వాత కాకినాడలో ఒక సెంటర్ పెడదాం, ఇదే ప్రోగ్రామ్ ట్రైనింగ్ ఇద్దాం, వాళ్ళందరికీ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం అని అనుకుంటున్నాం. ఆ ఉద్దేశంతో మాకు కనెక్ట్ అయ్యారు. ఇంకా బాగా నేను ఆయనతో కూడా మాట్లాడాను. వెళ్ళి వెంకట్ దానికి మీటింగ్ అటెండ్ అయి ఉన్నారు, అందుకని వచ్చాను. మా తరఫున డెఫినెట్గా మీ ట్రస్ట్కి తప్పకుండా మేము సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఆయన కూడా అదే చెప్పాడు. సో మనం అందరం కూడా మన ఏరియాలో మన పిల్లలు కానీ మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ పిల్లలు కానీ మన చేతనంత సహాయం చేద్దాం. మనం పోయేటప్పుడు ఏమి పట్టుకుపోవు సార్. మనకున్న విద్యని ఖర్చు మనకు యంగర్ జనరేషన్కి నేర్పుదాం. కొంతమంది ఎలా ఉంటారంటే నేను చెప్పడానికి ఇష్టపడరు, నా తెలివితేటలు ఏమన్నా ఉన్నా సరే అవి చెప్పడానికి ఇష్టపడరు. నిన్న మా ఆఫీసులో ఒక అబ్బాయి ఇన్సిడెంట్ చెప్తున్నా. ఆ అబ్బాయికి ఎలా డిజైన్ చేయాలో, ఎలా ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేయాలో చెప్పా. ఇంకొక అబ్బాయి పాపం తెలియదు, తీసుకెళ్ళి అతను కూడా తెలుసు కదా అంటే తీసుకెళ్ళడానికి ఇష్టపడలేదు. అంటే ఈ డజంట్ లైక్ టు టెల్ హిమ్, ఈ డజంట్ లైక్ టు షేర్ హిజ్ నాలెడ్జ్ టు హిజ్ కొలీగ్. అంటే అలాంటి పరిస్థితులు కూడా ఎదురవుతున్నాయి. మనం ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఈ ఏజ్లో మనం అంతా ఒక టీచర్ కింద ఆలోచించి అరే రాబోయే జనరేషన్కి మనకున్న నాలెడ్జ్ని షేర్ చేద్దామనే ఉద్దేశంతో మనం ఇంకా ముందుకు వెళ్తే మాత్రం డెఫినెట్గా రాబోయే కాలంలో ఇంకా రూరల్లో అనేది ఏముండదు. ఎక్కువ మంది అందరూ కూడా రూరల్ ఏరియా నుంచే వస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి డెఫినెట్గా మంచి భవిష్యత్తు మనం ఇవ్వగలమని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఇట్ ఈస్ మై పర్సనల్ ఒపీనియన్. లెట్ us ట్రై టు గివ్ అవర్ అంటే ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ టు అవర్ అంటే అప్కమింగ్ చిల్డ్రన్. అలాగే దీప్తి లాంటి వాళ్ళకి నేను చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే దేర్ ఆర్ సో మెనీ బుక్స్ ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్స్ ఇన్ ఇండియా, సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఎంటర్ప్రెన్యూర్స్ ఇన్ ఏపీ ఆర్ తెలంగాణ. అలాంటి బుక్స్ చదవాలి. ఆ బుక్స్లో ఒక మనిషి ఒక స్టేజ్కి వచ్చాడు అంటే ఎన్నో కష్టాలు పడి ఉంటాడు. ఆ కష్టాలు వెనకాల ఎంతో బాధలు ఉంటాయి. అవన్నీ మన పేరెంట్స్ చెప్పరు, మనం తెలుసుకోవాలి. అవన్నీ తెలుసుకుని డెఫినెట్గా మనం ఒక పాజిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్తో అంటే అన్నీ మంచిగానే జరుగుతాయని పాజిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్తో మనం ముందుకు వెళ్తే తప్పకుండా సక్సెస్ అవుతాం. నెగిటివ్గా ఆలోచించే వాళ్ళతో స్నేహం చేయవద్దు, నెగిటివ్గా ఆలోచించే వాళ్ళతో ఏవి షేర్ చేసుకోవద్దు. ఈవెన్ సమ్ టైమ్స్ ఇన్ అవర్ ఫ్యామిలీస్ ఆల్సో మదర్ ఈజ్ లైక్ ఏ పెసిమిస్ట్, ఫాదర్ ఈజ్ లైక్ ఆప్టిమిస్ట్. అంటే ఫాదర్ పాజిటివ్గా ఆలోచిస్తాడు, మదర్ నెగిటివ్గా ఆలోచిస్తాడు. నేను ముందే చెప్పాను కదా నీకు ఎలా అవుతుంది చూసావా అంటారు. అలాంటి వాళ్ళు నేను చెప్పకూడదు, షేర్ చేసుకోకూడదు. అలాగే పిల్లల్లో కూడా మన ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు, మన ఫ్రెండ్స్లో కూడా అలాంటి వాటితో మనం ఫ్రెండ్షిప్ చేయండి. డెఫినెట్గా మంచి అనుకున్నది ఒక ఎయిమ్ పెట్టుకోండి. తప్పకుండా మీ ఫాదర్, మీ డాడీ ఆయన ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, తో తర్వాత ఇలా ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన వాళ్ళందరి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్తో కూడా మంచి భవిష్యత్తు ఉంటుందని చెప్పి నేను అనుకుంటున్నా. సో ఒక స్ట్రక్చరల్ ఇంజనీర్గా, ఒక ఆర్కిటెక్ట్గా నాకు అంకం గారు బాగా పరిచయం. ఆ పరిచయంతో ఆయన అభిప్రాయాలు నా అభిప్రాయాలు కలిసాయి కాబట్టి మీ అందరూ బాగా కనెక్ట్ అయిపోయాం. సో కొన్ని పర్సనల్ విషయాలు కూడా మేము మాట్లాడుకుంటాం అప్పుడప్పుడు. సో ఈరోజు అంటే ఈ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత లాస్ట్లో ఎందుకు మాట్లాడుతానంటే నెట్వర్కింగ్ డిన్నర్ అని చెప్పారు. అందుకని తొందరగా మనందరూ నెట్వర్కింగ్ డిన్నర్లో కలుసుకుని ఎవరికెవరు ఏంటనేది పరిచయం చేసుకుని ఎవరికి ఏమైనా ఉపయోగపడతారంటే ఉపయోగించుకుందాం. లెట్ us build our relationships అంటే ఫర్ ఎ లాంగ్ టైం. సో థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్ అంకం గారు, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. అండ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఆల్ ఫర్ కమింగ్ ఆల్ ది వే ఫ్రమ్. అంటే సిటీలో చాలా ట్రాఫిక్ ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, అయినా సరే మీరు అందరూ వచ్చి ఈవినింగ్ ఇక్కడ గ్యాదర్ అయినందుకు ఆయన తరఫున నేను మీకు కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుతూ సెలవు తీసుకుంటున్నాను. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్ అండ్ ఆల్.
Thank you, sir. I mean, you've finished most of the thanking to everybody, and definitely, as you said, reading books will definitely help people. But మీలాంటి వాళ్ళని కలిసి మాట్లాడితే 1000 books చదివిన వాళ్ళతో మీతో ఒకరు మాట్లాడితే 1000 books చదివినట్టు అయిపోతుంది. Yeah. And I mean, please allow me to call upon the chairman, Dr. Ankam Garu, and felicitate everybody as a token of appreciation from our end, please.
థ్యాంక్ యూ వన్ అండ్ ఆల్.
అక్కడికి వెళ్తావా?
మీరందరూ సెలక్షన్స్ తర్వాత రూరల్ ఏరియా కాదు, ఇది రూరల్ ఏరియా అవుతుంది. సో రూరల్ ఏరియా నుంచి వచ్చే వాళ్ళందరూ ఖచ్చితంగా రూరల్స్ అవుతారు అనే కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ మాకు వచ్చింది. అలానే గాంధీ గారు చెప్పినట్టుగా భారతదేశం యొక్క పట్టుబొమ్మలన్నీ గ్రామాల్లోనే ఉన్నాయి. గ్రామాల నుంచి అవి వ్యాపించి పట్టణాల్లోకి వచ్చి, పట్టణాల నుంచి నగరాలకు, నగరాల నుంచి విశ్వవ్యాప్తం అవుతున్నాయి. అలా విశ్వవ్యాప్తం అవుతున్నాయని నిదర్శనాలు ఈరోజు మనం అందరూ ఇక్కడ గ్యాదర్ అయ్యాం. ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ గ్రామాల నుంచి విచ్చేసిన వాళ్ళని విచ్చి వారి యొక్క విశ్వరూపాన్ని ఇక్కడ చూపిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. మిస్టర్ వెంకట్ గారు చెప్పినట్టుగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో ముందుకు వచ్చి ఈ గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఉండే విద్యార్థులకు మీ వంతు సహకారాన్ని అందిస్తారని మా ట్రస్ట్ తరఫున కోరి ప్రార్థిస్తున్నాం. అలానే రామచంద్రపురం చుట్టుపక్కల గ్రామాల ఏరియాల్లో పనిచేయడానికి సార్ మీ పేరు మర్చిపోయినా, రెడ్డి గారు, సాయినాథ్ రెడ్డి గారు వచ్చిన ఊరి నుంచి వెదురుపాక నుంచి సాయిరామ్ రెడ్డి వచ్చినప్పుడు అక్కడి నుంచి వెదురుపాక నుంచి మ్యూజిక్ డైరెక్టర్ దేవిశ్రీ ప్రసాద్ కూడా ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళతో కూడా మనం మాట్లాడడం జరిగింది. ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి రావడానికి వాళ్ళు కూడా ఒప్పుకున్నారు ఈ రూరల్ ఎంప్లాయ్మెంట్ హెల్త్ హబ్లో వర్క్ చేయడానికి. మేము ఈ చుట్టుపక్కల ఉండే గ్రామాల్లో మా నర్సింగ్ కాలేజ్ తరఫున కొన్ని గ్రామాలను అడాప్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాం. ఆ అడాప్ట్ చేసుకుంటూ కొన్ని ఫ్యామిలీస్ని అడాప్ట్ చేసుకుని వారికి అవసరమైనటువంటి టాబ్లెట్స్, మెడిసిన్స్, చిన్న చిన్న ఈ మెడికల్ ఐటమ్స్ అన్నీ ఇవ్వడానికి సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నాము. దాంట్లో భాగంగా డాక్టర్ రవిచంద్ర గారికి చెబితే వారికి తెలిసిన ఫార్మా కంపెనీస్ నుంచి చాలా టాబ్లెట్స్, మెడిసిన్స్, నిత్యావసరమైనటువంటి మిగిలిన వస్తువులన్నీ కూడా ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. వి వెల్కమ్ యూ. ఈ గ్రామాలను మేము అడాప్ట్ చేసుకుంటూ ఎవరైనా ఫార్మా ఇండస్ట్రీ వాళ్ళు కనుక ముందుకు వస్తే కమ్యూనిటీ బ్యాంక్స్, ఆ గ్రామీణ ప్రాంతాల్లో ఉండే విద్యార్థులకు కమ్యూనిటీ బ్యాంక్స్ ఎవరైనా కనుక స్పాన్సర్ చేసినా వీఆర్ రెడీ టు టేకప్ ఆన్ యువర్ కంపెనీ నేమ్. ఆ గ్రామంలో కండక్ట్ చేసేటువంటి హెల్త్ క్యాంప్స్కి మీ కంపెనీ తరఫున మేము దత్తత తీసుకునే కార్యక్రమం చేయడానికి మా దగ్గర టీం సిద్ధంగా ఉంది. వి వెల్కమ్ యూ సార్. అండ్ ఫైనల్లీ ఐ ఇన్వైట్ ద సోషల్ వర్కర్ శ్రీ భగవాన్ గారు. శ్రీ భగవాన్ గారు మాట్లాడడానికి కాదు, రండి, మీరంతా చేతల మనిషి. ప్లీజ్ కమాన్ సార్, కమాన్ టు ద డాన్స్. ద సోషల్ వర్కర్ శ్రీ భగవాన్ గారు కూకట్పల్లి ఏరియాలో పిఠాపురం, రామచంద్రపురం, కాకినాడ, ద్రాక్షారామం ఈ ఏరియాల్లో ఆయన పేరు తెలియని వాళ్ళు ఎవరూ లేరు. వారిని ఈరోజు వేదిక మీదకి ఆహ్వానించి ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి ఇచ్చేసిన మీ అందరికీ ఏ టోకెన్ ఆఫ్ అప్రిసియేషన్ వారి చేతుల మీదుగా ఇవ్వాల్సిందిగా కోరి ప్రార్థిస్తున్నాం. ఐ ఇన్వైట్ మిస్టర్ కృష్ణ తేజ, ప్లీజ్ కమాండ్ టు ద డయాస్. ఈ లిస్ట్ లో కొంతమంది సార్ కూడా వచ్చిన ఒక ఇద్దరు పేర్లు కూడా రాయలేదు, వాళ్ళ పేర్లు కూడా ఇవ్వాల్సిందిగా కోరుచున్నాం. అలాగే వన్ ఆర్ అదర్ 2-3 పీపుల్ కూడా ఉన్నారు, వాళ్ళ నేమ్స్ కూడా యాడ్ చేసి కృష్ణ తేజ ప్లీజ్ కంటిన్యూ.
I call upon Mr. Y. Chakravarti from Infra System Expert. Mr. Abhirama Krishna garu. Mr. Manoj Chikala garu. Mr. Manoj Chikala garu.
Mr. Manoj.
ఆఫీసర్ స్టాండ్ మధ్యలో పెట్టండి, బాగుంటుంది. స్టాండ్ ఇది ఆపేయండి, ఈ స్టాండ్ పెట్టండి. సో భగవాన్ గారికి పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ మధ్యలో అది బాగుంటుంది.
కొంచెం సార్ మీరు నెక్స్ట్
Professor P.G. Shastri garu, sir, please. Mr. G. Siddhartha garu. Mr. K.L. Narsiman. Mr. K.L. Narsiman. Mr. Kishan Chand garu. Mr. Kishan Chand. Mr. Venkat Rao garu. Venkat Rao garu. Mr. Durga Prasad garu. Dr. M. Venkat. Dr. Ravichand. Mr. Sairam. Mr. Dakshina Murthy garu. Miss Deepthi Reddy garu.
Serious, Kannada.
Mr. Nagesh. Mr. Srinivas Adabala. Mr. Srinivas K. Mr. Bhaskar V. Garu. Ravichandar, Dr. Ravichandar, sir, please. And also our keynote speaker, Mr. Narendra Garu. Mr. Ramireddy Garu. Sumati ma'am also, please. Miss Hepzibah Garu. Dr. Venkateswar Rao Garu. Dr. P.S. Murthy Garu, sir, please. Mr. G. Siddhartha.
అందరి ముందు ఉన్నాయి కదా శాస్త్రీయత ఏం లేదు వాళ్ళిద్దరు పక్కన
Mr. Narendra Kumar Garu.
చైనా కాలర్ చైనీస్ డ్రెస్ పైన కింద
Now I call upon the chairman, Mr. Dr. Ankam Garu, to felicitate Mr. Bhagwan Garu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. That is leadership. That is leadership.
Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for coming tonight. And as we conclude this enriching event, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for your valuable contributions. Your presence and participation have made this gathering truly meaningful. We appreciate the insightful discussions and engaging interactions and collective commitment to empowering rural youth of the country. Carrying the spirit forward, we invite you to the dinner outside, and thank you so much for coming. Good night.
Let us join for dinner.